Hi guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I'm going to teach you the Ajax first method. There are different methods to apply the Ajax. I will teach you three methods to apply the Ajax, and this is just a little function to load the page without refreshing the uh, uh, page, and this is the different thing. But now I'm going to teach you the first method to apply the complete Ajax. So here, first of all, I'm going to close these pages. I'm going to create another page. I have copied this, and here is the file name is get. I'm going to apply the Ajax by using the get method, so that's why I have saved the file name with the get method and remove this. And now here is all the things are okay, and now we also need to generate the PHP file. So here is the control new, and here is this, and here is and here I want to tell you something. When you use the load function, so don't write the space in the name of the file that we want to load, but here in these three methods you can write the space in the file name, and here I'm going to write get.php, and here is the PHP file is also created. So both of these files are created, and now here I'm going to access those files. Here is move, and here is this is the file 118 get.html file, and this is a file. And now here I'm going to create a field, and we will get the we will put our name in that field, and then we will submit the data through the Ajax, and then that data is passed to the PHP page, and then we will give our output. And here is the input field. Here is input type is text. Here is ID, and here is its ID is txt, and I'm gonna enclose it inside these tags, and here is form closing tag, and this is the first field, this is the second field, and here this is the button, and here is submit value, its value is submit, and this is the div. So all the things are okay. Here I'm going to refresh the page, and here is, and here I'm going to write name. So in this way we can identify this field will take only the name, and here you see that name. And now first of all we have to apply the event when we fill the name in this field, and when we click on the submit, so we have to get that data, and we have to pass the data to this PHP page. And when we send the data, so that is the Ajax request. We are requesting, we will send the request, and this PHP page will accept the request. So here is, first of all, when we click on the submit button, here is submit button ID is btn, here is this, and here is function, and here is this, and now here we have to get the value from this field, and here is the id txt dot val, and here is this, and we have to save it in a variable. Here is name, here is name. In the name variable we have saved the value of the name, and here in between this, here I'm going to apply the br to place it here, and another, here it is. Now it is okay. So now the value, we have get the value of the field. Now we have to send this value by using the Ajax request. Now here is the first method to send the Ajax request, and that is the get. First of all, we have to write $.get, and then these brackets or parentheses, whatever it is, and then in between these parentheses, first of all, we have to write the file name, the name of the file on which we want to send this data, or we want to send this Ajax request. So here is the file name is 118 get.php, and after this file name we have to write the values that we want to send. In the parentheses, we have to write the values in the parentheses. We have to store these values if we want to send this name. So we have to store this value in another variable, and then that variable is sent to this page, and that variable we can use in this page. So here is, we don't need to write any var or anything. This is basically like a object property. This is just like an object property, and here we have to write the new variable name that will have this value. So here is I'm gonna write num. It is different from this because it have the e in the name, but it have only the name, or we can do it like this, namey. It is namey, and then we have to write colon, and then we have to give it original value that we want to send. So now this is the you can say that this is a property, and this is its value. This is the value. This value is now in this variable, and this data, this variable is going to be sent to this page. And after writing the comma, just like an object, you can write the second property and its value, second variable and its value. Here I'm gonna create another, like here is email. This is created here, and colon, and I'm gonna give its value like udemy@gmail.com. This is the random email. So now this variable, we have not created it, but in the data it is created. And now this email property name have the value, this name variable contain the value that we have given the field, and it is assigned to this namey. So now these are the data. We can give it as many data as we want, as many variables as we want. And now this is the Ajax request, and after this we have to write another comma, and we have to write the function. This function will take the response of this request. This request is going to be sent on this page, but it will also have the response from that page. So that response is going to receive in this function. In this function, the response will be received. Here is this function, and in this function, here is the response is passed. This data variable, or we can call it response, or we can give it any name. This variable contain the response that we receive from this PHP page, and we can print it here, we can do anything. So now here I'm gonna break these things like this. Here now it is clear, I hope, or it is in this line, then it will be clear more. So now here is, and this is the function, and this is the response we receive, and here is, and now this is the complete Ajax request, and this will send the data from the field to the PHP page without refreshing the page. And now this is a PHP page, and in this PHP tags, and here is the PHP tag. Now we have to receive the data. We have to receive the data, and that how the data is received. The data is received from the name of these variables name and email, and the method is get is the method. So first of all, what we need to do, first of all, we have to check if these variables or the values is received or not. So for this, we have to use the isSet function. isSet function will only check the values, the variables or the values are received or not. So for this, inside the isSet, we have to use $_get. This is the method. Through this method, we have sent the Ajax request from here, and then we have to write these square brackets, and in these square brackets we have to write the variable name that is sent by this Ajax request, that is name. So now this is the boolean function. It will return the one, it will return the true if this name variable is sent by the Ajax request by the get method. Get is the method. This get is the method to send the data to perform the Ajax. This is the method, and now if it will return true, so we can echo like this. We can echo data receive. So now when this statement send the request here, and this statement will validate this data is received, and this is going to echo. So now this echo statement will be returned in the response here. This echo statement is going to print the text in this response variable. It have give that echo statement in this response variable, and then we can print that response variable in the div. Here is div dot text, and here is response, and here is. So now the response that we are getting from this PHP page, that is echo, this text is saved in this response variable, and response variable is printed. And first of all, here I'm gonna type Fahad Ashfaq and submit it, and here you see that data is received. How it is print? This text function will be printing the response in the div, and the response have the value that is echoed by this PHP code. So now we can also echo this name and email, and if we want to check both email, and so what we need to do, we have to write comma, and then we can also check get. We have to write the get in the capital words. Here we don't need to write the get in the capital words, and then here is the parenthesis, here is the email, because we are sending two variables or the two properties, that name and the email, and both this isSet function will validate both of these variables, and it will return true or false. So here I'm gonna change its name if it is not passed. Now it is not passed, and here you see that I have passed this data, so it is not printing anything because we have echo this when this is true, when this condition is true. So now it is true, and this data is going to be passed. We don't need to refresh it. Here is this, and here you see that data receive. And now what we are going to do, we can also echo these email and the name like this. Here is, I'm going to print these things. Here is, first of all, here is name, here is name colon, and we have to write dot, and then how we can get these name, we have to write the same thing like these parentheses, and here is the name. And now here you can see that this is the dot, this dot is only concatenate this text with this name. So now here you can see that this is $_get namey, and this statement will return the name that is stored inside this property name, inside this namey variable. Here you can see that this namey have the value this name, and now it will print on the screen. And now let's see, refresh it, and here is Fahad Ashfaq, and submit it. So here is the name is Fahad Ashfaq, and how it is print, this echo statement return or echo this text inside this response, and then we print the response and all the things are printed. And we can also echo this email, like here is email, and here is new line, here is br, and then dot, and here is _get, and here is why we are writing get, because we have sent the request by using the get method. If we use another method, then we use that method name. Here is email, and it will be printed on the screen. Here is submit. We don't need to write anything else. So here is the br is also printed. Here is, I'm gonna look at it, and here I'm going to remove this HTML. And now what is happening here, Fahad, and submit. So here you can see that this is the name and then email and all these things, and here I'm going to create the space in between these things. Here is this, and after it here is dot, and it will create some space, and here is this, here is this, and submit it again. So here is the name and the email, or all the things are printed. So in this way you can send the Ajax request by using the get method. So if you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. I will see you in the next video that is about another methods in the Ajax. So thank you for watching this video.